Hello there. My name's Barb Ashcroft, and I am thrilled to be your host today for a wonderful showcase. We know it right now, it's even the holiday season, and we all want to look our best and be our best, but powerful when you can have some tools to work with that. And so today I'm thrilled to be able to introduce to you two ladies. One in particular that I've known for a long time is Sandy Duff. And Sandy Duff is a heart-centered lady that just loves to help individuals, but she has a real passion for natural, a real passion for making sure that we're putting the right things in us and on us. And so today I am tickled that we're going to be able to have Sandy share with us all her in-depth knowledge about related to skincare and how this can even help your brain health as well. So we're going to be doing that as well. I want to introduce Renee Poindexter, who is a world-class coach, educator, and just a marvelous lady with her Living Your Potential business. She really brings the best out of individuals. So I am going to turn this over to these ladies so that they can be sharing some really fantastic knowledge with you. So I'm going to be pinning Sandy and Renee here so that you'll be able to focus on those folks. So thank you for joining us and enjoy this educational time.
Well, thank you, Barb. It's a pleasure. And for those of you that don't know Barb Ashcroft, she's been in the wellness industry for near 40 years and really knows her stuff. So it's great to be in this community. I'm coming to you from Portland, Oregon, and it's my great pleasure to be with Sandy Duff, who I wouldn't have met if I hadn't met Barb. So it's amazing how we can continue to expand the circle through love and connection. So Sandy, it's such a pleasure to be with you today. I'm really looking forward to understanding your experience. I know you have over 25 years of really reviewing, researching, and experimenting with different skincare. And I think it's close to 30 years, 25 to 30 years you've been doing this. So when you came across the Alavida as a skincare line, it kind of lit you up from the inside out. Is that right?
That's correct, Renee Beth. Thank you. I'm really excited to be here, and thank you both for arranging this.
Okay. Well, what is it that makes you so passionate about skincare?
Um, I, I always love just the fact that to educate and to share knowledge with others so that they also can make an informed decision. And I was very, very fortunate back, let me see, about 1991, with the other company I was with to work very closely with the formulator of that line. And that just really intrigued me of how everything worked. And it was a natural line as well. And I used that for close to 25 years and loved it. And when we no longer could get that line, I looked for something else to substitute, and that was still natural. And I did find a few lines out there that I liked, but they were very costly. And so when this came about with the Alavida, I thought, oh my gosh, this is so unique in the fact that there's nothing else on the market that even comes close with this, with what David has put together as a system using the topicals combined with the patch.
Exactly. Well, I know that you were definitely intrigued with the science because that's what you wanted. There's a lot of good marketing products out there that oversell, but you look behind the curtain and there's not much there. So this idea of having natural products that are really based on science was something that you really were interested in. That had to meet your analysis. If there was no science, but it was all marketing, it's like you weren't interested. So there was something that happened for you when you met David Schmidt, when science meets nature, I think is what you called it.
Yes. Well, so many markets, so many products on the market basically hire paid mouthpieces, is what I call them. They
Uh-huh.
so solicit a movie star or some important person or even a doctor to look at the research or the development of their product, and then they pay them to promote it. So they're basically fooling, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of the consumers out there. What I look for is someone that actually has hands-on experience. David is the formulator. He is the scientist behind our product. He knows the body better than anybody that I've ever came across. And he knows how to, use ingredients that actually protect and work with the body at a cellular level. So that's what just intrigues me more than anything. And of course, he is the formulator of our products, but of course he works with a cosmetic scientist to put it all together. So he reaches out and works with other individuals to help him get the end results that he wants. But he definitely is very much involved.
Right. So, and the uniqueness about this product line that you're going to go into today explains the different how the formulas, how the products were formulated. But then there's this photobiomodulation, this light therapy that is so exciting about how it works. And David Schmidt has been researching this for over 24 years and has actually found ways through the clinical studies in the universities and places that he's interfaced with to actually do double-blind, placebo-controlled, independent clinical trials, and has discovered through this science with working with light, it's just kind of amazing from the inside out, and then as you would, also from the outside in. So was that a unique combination, Sandy, for you to see how light therapy from the inside can work, with these nutrients and the impact on the outside and how it kind of all comes together?
Yes, most definitely. The light therapy was new to me, as it is, I'm sure, to many people. When you can put this itty bitty little patch on your body, which is non-transdermal, by the way, nothing in the patch actually goes into the body, which is something that David is passionate about as well. He doesn't want anything entering into the body that could be harmful in any way. As you say, this patch is activated by our body's own light, and it signals a certain pathway in the body. And in this particular one, it works with our skin, but it also does so many things. David has a test. One of the tests that he's done is with a machine called biopulsar, and it's just so intriguing. When you place this patch, the Alavida patch, on your body, within 5 minutes, over 40 different organs in the body all begin to operate and function more optimally. So basically, when the inside of our bodies operate, at a higher level, it basically elevates everything else in the body to work more naturally, and it supports the skin, or the overall health of the skin. So that's where the whole inside out comes into play. So
Perfect.
his test actually shows how that works. It's just amazing. So we have of course a lot of clinical studies, and it is where the patches come in the sleeve. There's 30 of them in there, and we have the day cream and the night cream. And so these topicals work hand in glove with the patches. When the patches are on the skin, they help the topicals to work that much more effectively. So basically, it's a merging of all these ingredients together to help to protect our skin.
Right. It's kind of I've always been curious, they say the skin is the largest organ in the body, right?
Right.
So it's the largest organ and it's connecting all the other organs, but how do they really interface together? And through David's science, like you're saying, it's the light that connects it, right? Which is pretty amazing. So it's not just what you're putting on your body. Like we're going to talk about the ingredients that are in these we've got a night cream here, a day cream, and a eye cream, along with the patches here. And it's so exciting because right now we've got a special coming on that's pretty exciting for the holidays that we're going to go into more detail about. But I can't think of a better gift to give for the holidays than something like this. So tell us a little bit about how this 24/7 approach to skin nutrition. I think you've said a lot of it already, but
Right.
is the beauty really effortless? Are the results really visible?
Right. I believe almost maybe instantaneously, your skin definitely feels more hydrated due to the collection of ingredients that we'll go over. Uh, Hydrating the skin, and it smooths out the skin. For anyone that has very dry skin, it's formulated for all skin types. So when we know that we have the day formula and the night formula, and then the patch obviously works in conjunction with that too, and you wear the patch at night as well.
Exactly. So every night I go to bed with this Alavida patch that you held up, and I put it, I usually put it right in the middle of my forehead and the pineal gland, or I'll put it a couple other places, but it's like I know that it's not just working with my face, but it's working with my whole body, which is kind of amazing. So it's kind of amazing. You've said a lot of this already, but when you think about it, it works. A lot of companies advertise these things, but what have you known to be true about the fact that this actually works in the way we say it works?
Well, obviously there's many studies that the company has done, and of course it's a patented technology, and of course the phototherapy is what sets us apart. And David does many tests, and of course he does. All these results that are up on the screen, they're all clinically proven. And the reason that we're only 98.6% all natural is that the vitamin C that David uses is obviously natural, but what he's done is he's combined it with a oil. And so, of course, that's not how it appears in nature. So he can't say it's natural, even though it's derived from natural ingredients. But the reason he's done this is vitamin C is a very large molecule, and it's very hard to be absorbed into the tissue. So when he's combined the two ingredients together to have a fat soluble ingredient, that it absorbs into our tissues much quicker. And so in my estimation, it's 100% natural.
Right, exactly, exactly. Well, thank you. I didn't realize that. I learn something new every time I hear you speak, Sandy. So
Mhm.
it's the science inside that's really grabbed you. How would you say that? How long did it take for you to really embrace the distinctions of the science behind this product?
Almost immediately, because um, the science is, I don't understand a lot of the science when David speaks. He knows the body very well, but I'm all about the benefits. What is it going to do if he explains something and then he says, and this is what it ends up doing. That's what I grasp onto. And of course, everything that he's put into this line is all natural. All the ingredients we all know them. And so he's not using a lot of things that you look at the label and you say, I can't even pronounce that. Like, what
Right,
is that? Right. So these are
exactly.
all derived from science, and from nature, I should say, which is amazing. And of course, he's put them together in such a way that they work synergistically together and then delivered to the very bottom layer of the cells. That's what distinguishes this line apart from others out there, as well as a lot of the mainstream cosmetics and skincare products sit on the surface of our skin. They don't actually penetrate and go below and work on the bottom layers of the skin. And this one is a very active line.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about some of these key ingredients that you were so excited about when you started to really, because I know you're a researcher and you know what you're looking at. For me, sometimes I have to admit, maybe for a lot of people, we're kind of seduced by the influencers marketing those skincare products that are on the TV or on
Right.
social media, right? It's like many times we go, oh, I want what she's having, but they don't really realize that. I think you were talking earlier that so much of what's advertised is not really healthy for the skin. As a matter of fact, you were referencing a book that really steered you away from mainstream. What the name of the book was? What, Beauty to Die For?
Yeah, Beauty to Die For. And it lists pretty much every chemical that is out there that are amazingly, the majority of them are in our mainstream skincare. not only skincare, body care, body washes, body creams, body lotions, shampoos, conditioners. So, when you add all of that up, we're really putting a lot of toxins within our body that
Right.
are very, very harmful to us.
So if we really want to have a clean bill of health, we might start looking behind the screen, behind the curtain. And thank you so much for telling us a little bit about these key ingredients that are absolutely to live for.
Right. So the first one, that's the base. That's basically all the night cream, the day cream, and our eye serum, which we will chat about, all have a base of this. It's a very special form of algae that's really, really rich in DHA. And so that basically helps to protect our skin and provide it with a very high amount of hydration. So of course, that's what we want to provide the skin to basically look and feel healthy and vibrant. But you want that protective layer as well, and that's the base that David has worked with. And of course, the evening primrose oil is one of these. Got about 4 different oils that are in there, but he's combined them all together to work very synergistically together. So, but the base is the first one.
Right. And we've seen, because we've shared this within a community where we share pictures and stories, and it's amazing how many people's skin issues that they learn to kind of live with dry, itchy, and chapped skin. It seems like those problems are dissipating and going away. So it's
right. Now, this next ingredient, that's what's really got me excited, the milk peptides. The other ingredients are pretty much all in both formulations, but the milk peptide is only found in our evening formula. And what I love about this ingredient is it naturally increases the body's own collagen and own hyaluronic acid. And the industry, there's so many women who are willing to have these from an outside source. The hyaluronic acid most of it is injected in with syringes, which not for me.
Are you talking about Botox? That's what it is, right?
Well, Botox is something different. You can get actually hyaluronic acid injected as well, which is a natural form. Hyaluronic acid is actually produced in our bodies. Mm-hmm. So it's actually something that's natural. But of course, when you have it injected from an outside source, it's not natural. So where our bodies, though, do itself, it has hyaluronic acid, is just like everything else. With age, it declines. So what this milk peptide ingredient does is helps the body to create and produce its own collagen and its own hyaluronic acid, which is what you want, because the body knows how to create these. As just that it needs the outside sources as a support. And so this is providing that. And, the market, there's millions and millions of dollars spent every year on, like you were saying, Botox, hyaluronic acid injection, microdermabrasion, laser treatments, which all are more or less invasive. Whereas this, all you simply do is wear the patch on a nightly basis and put the morning and the evening formulation on the skin, and the body does the rest.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing because, when I heard that body makes 300 billion new cells a day, and I heard through David's research that our photobiomodulation and a lot of these nutrients that you're talking about can actually reset the human genome. And the skin is the largest organ. It's pretty amazing. So then when you add the macadamia seed oil, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? From the macadamia tree?
Right. I mean, that is, he's used very unusual oils, and he's formulated them in such a way that none of them become greasy on the skin. So when you apply the morning or the evening formulation, it just absorbs in nicely. It doesn't, you don't have that greasy feeling. And these oils are combined in such a way that they act as a delivery system for like the milk peptides and the vitamin C, so that they're delivered right down to the bottom layers of the skin. So, that's always something that's very, very important to know.
I love that. It feels so light when you put it on, but it's really going to work on a deep level.
Right.
So there's more ingredients here that are pretty significant.
Yeah, no, this one is from it's called the Miracle Tree. And again, that's one of the natural ingredients that, again, protects that barrier. David's very, we want to protect our skin from the outside toxins. And of course, in today's world, there's so much more than even 10 years ago. And so you do want that layer to be your first layer of defense, right? So again, this is another one that helps, and it's one of the oils that he's put together along with the jojoba oil. And he's worked with the cosmetic scientists to formulate them in such a way that they all work naturally together.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what it had to go through. Out of all the choices and possibilities, it's not just each ingredient by itself, but how they align and
And work
synergize together, right?
Yes,
It's pretty
yes.
amazing. So let's look at these ingredients.
Okay, so again, the rice bran oil is another. It works as an antioxidant, so helping to protect the skin. And so what we're doing is we're wanting to not only protect the skin, but make the skin healthy, so that you actually have a healthy skin, as well as the protective barrier. But and the rosemary extract again is another antioxidant, but it acts as more than importantly, where it helps to keep the product from going bad. It's a preservative, right? And everything else on the market uses usually some sort of synthetic form that some of them, like the urea, for instance, that is very, very common in a lot of the mainstream skincare products, actually releases a form of formaldehyde. So,
Wow.
when you're using something like this, which is a natural antioxidant and actually protects all the natural ingredients, I mean, that's the way to go.
Right. And the way people are noticing is like their skin is firming up. And
Yep.
it doesn't matter, in other words, you could have seen the signs of aging right on your face. We don't feel our wrinkles coming in and we don't feel them going away. But suddenly I've noticed with these products, along with the photobiomodulation, the patches, what we're going to talk about in a minute, my skin is firming up. My neck, my cheeks,
Mhm.
my frown lines. It's like, oh, where are those lines going? I didn't feel them coming in. I can't feel them going away, but I can see it from the pictures I take, right?
Yes, and your skin just feels so much more smoother and lighter, brighter. The texture is like you
Right,
say, you can just feel it like it's painted
right, right,
skin.
right. Well, I know you know a lot about these famous spas around the world and, high level people looking for this copper peptide. And what about this GHKCU copper peptide? I think it's in the eye cream. Is that right?
It is. It's in our eye cream, and it's blue. For those of you who have not used it, when you actually use a little bit, and you don't need much, it comes out blue. But of course, when you put it in your skin, it doesn't stay that color. But it is an amazing ingredient, and again, nothing on the market that has this ingredient in it. Lots of different companies have, an eye serum, but nothing that can compare to this one because of this main ingredient. And of course, what that does is it helps the body to naturally produce the collagen and elastin in our bodies, which of course tightens and tones and protects that skin below our eye that is very fragile. So it's an amazing ingredient. And of course, it's combined with some other powerful ingredients that actually helps to protect our skin and brighten it and smooth it out and give it that nice tone.
It's amazing. Yeah, I was so excited when this came out this year because it makes a really big difference. So here's the four products, that we've been talking about, but we really haven't gone into the patches that much. Do you want to say anything? It's like this is a sleeve you mentioned.
Right. Patches again there's no other skincare out there that has a system like we do. The patches, there's so much that sets us apart, but again, the patches definitely do. And the patches do so much more than just support our skin. As I had mentioned earlier, they work with all the organs of our body, and not only the organs, it actually stimulates the frontal lobe of our brain. So what other skincare line out there actually helps you with your brain. I mean, I can't think of one of anything. But it helps with the adrenals, the liver, lungs, kidney, heart, pancreas, stomach, all these different organs to operate more optimally. It also helps you, it's an antioxidant. And of course, it increases the collagen in our body. It helps you with your mood. It helps you to sleep at night. It helps with focus. It's just amazing. And again, all backed by science. These aren't just things we're pulling out of the air.
Right, exactly.
These are all done through various tests, like the biopulsar, blood tests, urine tests, all these different tests that David has done. So all backed by science.
That's quite amazing. So we love these patches, and quite honestly, there's different places that you can place the patches on your body. I mentioned I put it on my forehead, but instead of doing it every single night at that place, I'll move it, I'll wear it for 12 hours. Normally I put the patch on a little before I go to bed around 7:30 or 8 at night. I'm usually up around, 6 a.m. in the morning, so I'll take it off in the morning. So I've had it on for 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll then throw that patch away. And then I'll put a new patch on. And sometimes I'll put it under my chin or right on the center of my neck, or maybe at the back of my, right at the top of my spinal column. How about you, Sandy? How do you wear these
Yes,
patches?
I definitely move them around, such as yourself. On the brochure itself, the two spots that David actually did his tests on were 3 inches or 3 finger widths below the belly button and on the top of your spinal column. But like you're saying, many other places. Another one of mine is, like you're saying, the center, which activates the pineal gland in our bodies, which regulates all our hormones. So it's an amazing, it does so much, like I say, outside
Exactly.
of supporting our skin. And one of the other calls that I was on, which I found was really informative, is someone put it on the bottom of their right heel, which is apparently a really good spot. I tried that last night, and I'll wear it behind my right ear, right temple. It's usually towards either the center line or the right side of your body.
Right. Pretty amazing, magical on how it works. So we have some real results. Now, David Schmidt did a smart thing, I thought, Sandy. It's like how he figured out, he had all this science and was backed on these photobiomodulation patches and so forth. And he decided to make it available through a network rather than on a shelf in a store. And as a result, in the communities that we've been building, is that people many times will take a picture before and then a picture later, right? To just see the difference. Because
Right.
you don't feel your wrinkles coming in, do you? I mean,
No, that's it.
a couple years ago, I looked in the mirror and I'm going, I'm becoming my mother. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I didn't realize it was all happening. So now, as a result of wearing these patches and so forth and using the serums that you just discussed, it's like we start to see a difference. And these are two friends of mine, Don White and Tracy Corinne. And this is a difference of 2 years. What do you think about this? I mean, this is just two pictures.
Yeah,
We've got another one to share in just a minute, but this is pretty amazing, isn't it?
it is mind-boggling. It actually, restructures, which is almost hard to wrap your head around. But I mean, as you can see, and especially in Dawn, how it's changed, and his frown line and around his mouth, under his eye, and of course Tracy's skin is so much brighter, firmer. A picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So it really does promote the health of the skin, the firmness of the skin, and then alters, like, can take 10 years off of how you look and feel.
Exactly, exactly. And it's so cool to have, if you're new for the first time here and want to get started with this, we'll make sure that you take a picture of yourself before you start. And then some people will take another picture each month, right? But then you start to see the difference. You can see the difference in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, but obviously over 2 years, it's significant as well. So this is a pretty interesting gal, this Tanya Meme. She's a former Miss World, and she just loves the products, and she actually is kind of famous because she had a couple of TV shows called Fix This House or Sell This House. you know, I can't remember the exact title of the TV show, but she's pretty well known, and she can use like any products, any products. And she, you know,
Exactly.
and people are Miss World, you have opportunity to try everything. Everybody wants you to endorse their product, right?
100%.
And so she's really saying this from the moment she started using this, she could notice a difference in her skin texture and radiance. And it smells pretty good too. So it's exciting to see that, you know, this is a recent picture of hers. And I think she's only been using the product for a couple of months. I don't
Right.
have a before picture, but, you know, Miss World, Miss World, you know what I mean? It's like,
Right. But
it's just,
obviously, as you said, she has her choice of whatever. And I did listen to an interview that she did with Renata. And, you know, she said in the interview that she was having issues with her skin and that you know, everything smoothed out and cleared up when she started to use this line. So I mean, that's speaks volumes because,
yeah.
like you're saying, she can use the top of whatever, but most people don't realize that just because it's a famous name doesn't mean they've used great ingredients.